Today I'm going to do a mixed media Stampin' Up 12 by 12 scrapbook page. I'm using a decorative mask. This is one of the older ones, but you can get 4 in a pack. I'm going to be using the shimmer white embossing paste, and I'm going to be using the colours Mint Macaron, so Soft Sea Fine and Crumb Cake. I'm going to be using the Perennial Flower Punch, the Large Daisy Punch, the Leaf, and the Sprig Punch. I'm also using the Corrugated embossing folder that does this to any paper that you have. And I'm also going to be using this vellum, which came from the Sale-a-bration's recent sale, and unfortunately you can't get it now, but I managed to get my hands on a pack before it finished. So because this is also Soft Sea Fine, I'm using that as a highlight for my page. I'm also using some wooden pieces from last year's Sale-a-bration. I still had some of those left. Some muslin, which I had in my craft stash, and some flowers that I've also got in my craft stash. So this is my inspiration today. This is from Raywin, who is my upliner's upline. I last year and the year before attended her scrapbook classes, as I really enjoy scrapbooking, and I have this one page. I didn't do a double spread, so today I'm going to do another page to accompany this to go in my album. So I'm taking my embossing paste and I'm going to put an element over here. In fact, I'm going to hold it this way and apply my The idea is not to worry about where it all goes, because often with mixed media you end up putting things down and then covering them up later. So I'm now going to put this straight in water, because this stuff dries and then it's really hard to get off. Before you start doing anything else now, you want to leave this to dry. So I will come back to you in a wee while and when it's dry. So we've done that, and it's now dry to touch. Yep. So what we're going to do now is lay out our page down like so. So I want them here. And then what I'm going to do is take this one and I'm going to rip. Oh, hello Cohen. Our cat's come to join us. And this is a technique by the Level Hate. I actually love tearing things. So I'm going to put a bit there. Okay. Right. Will do for that. And what I've done is I've got, as I said, I've got the 2 bigger pieces, and what I'm going to do is pop them behind the photos. So I need to do it that way, and then just rip the top and the bottom. Right, so as you can see, I've ripped those 2, so they're going to sit on underneath it, and they will be raised up a bit too. I've got 2 bits there, and we can add bits in as we want to go. Now with the last piece that I've got here, I'm going to rip straight down, and what I want to do is I want to get a few strips. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our pencil, and we're going to mark. I'm actually going to put these closer together, because what I want to do is have a tiny gap between. So what you want to do is mark the top, excuse my head, and mark the bottom. And then take those off because they're now ready to go. Then you're going to mark here and here because that's where those two pieces go. So you can see you've got your marks. Now the fun begins. So when you're cutting up your bits, you'll have some grey left over. So then you cut an inch strip in the grey, and you can see now that it doesn't fit. But in a minute I'm going to actually cut them at different lengths. So I'm going to have a grey down here, and then what I've done is I've taken my mossy meadow and I'm going to put that up there like that, and then I've taken my soft sea foam, I'm going to go down there. And so what I do with this so it gets even is I go 1 inch, 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, go back to the original colour, change the size, go down to the bottom slightly, put your top on and put your bottom on, and you can see they're not long enough. Take them out. Okay, so what I suggest you do is put a pencil mark a bit higher, a bit lower, and then get it so that they're longer and shorter. Next, ink the sides of your paper. Tear a short bit at the top, pop it down, and I'm going to start further over and put a longer bit at the bottom, making sure where the gap is in your photos, my gap's here. Next one. Longer bit at the top, shorter bit at the bottom. Take a piece of this and pop it in and pop it in. I'm going to just check that's looking a bit better, which it is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sticking. What I'll do is I will continue along and come back to you when I've laid all that down. I'll see you in a minute. Hi, welcome back. As you can see, I've stuck down. However, what happened yesterday was when I restarted the video, it was on slow-mo, so I've had to start again. So this is how the one turned out yesterday, which was started with you guys and then slowed up, and so I've been unable to download it because it's 4 hours long. And so what I've done is I've gone back to where I was yesterday and I've started again. So when you've stuck them down, just pull these up at the edges and rough them up a bit. It just adds to the strength of it. It's cool. So what we're going to do now is put some colour in around and then start layering. So I'm going to take soft sea fine. I'm going to take Mint Macaroon and my very old and dry crumb cake. And what you do is you circle off the page and go on in. Now there's no was the soft sea foam. Now we're going to use the Mint Macaron. Again, same thing. Come from the outside and go on in, and you just add into it. And that's the Mint Macaron. So now I'm going to take my crumb cake. I think it's time I bought the new crumb cake in the Rinka. So this, I'm just going to take some highlights across the page, just to bring out the embossing here. I do now at this point, because I've got all that ink on, I'm going to turn it over to a nice clean sheet. There we go. I prefer that. Yeah. Okay. So once you have decided where those pieces are going to go, you're going to glue those down. The idea with this though is to glue the middle down, not because when you come to build all the elements around, you need to be able to push things underneath. So by doing just the middle there, you will be able to push elements underneath once it's dry. And I know that that top bit, I'm not going to put any elements on, so I'm going to put a bit of glue on there. There we go. So I can push things under here now and here, and then once things are stuck down, I can add a bit more glue. The other thing I think you'll notice is I put some pieces of paper on here to then add the dimensionals. So what I did was I took some of the spare bits of paper and cut them up, because I find that to put the dimensionals on, it gives it a bit of a better grip. So again, glue on here and put these squares down on top. And it gives you a bit more, something to stick the dimensions to. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we're going to stick the dimensionals on the back. Don't be mean with them, plenty of them. There we go. And then before I take the backs off, I'm going to then stick this down. So what I did is I put a piece, a bit of glue along the photo, and then stuck that down and left it to dry, the muslin. And now I'm going to stick this on here, like so. Okay. And turn it the other way, make sure that it's well and truly stuck down. Okay. More glue on the dimensionals. Okay. I'm going to put that on there. And this one here. Good. Put this to one side. As I said before, is I've used the Perennial Essence punch, the large daisy punch, the leaf punch, and the twig bunch. Also got from my stash a couple of flowers that I've had for a long time, which matched really well. And I have prepared a little bit of this, so I'm going to finish preparing some of the flowers to go on. I tend to make a few too many, and then I've got spares, so those are all ready to go. Just this last one, so I'll just show you how I did that. She says, looking for her thing. So I tend to use some, I cut the backs off, and then others I make this pretty little design on. So we just take our owl and circle it round, and then come back in and then finish that little bit there and pull a little. So sometimes I cut them up, sometimes I don't. I've got these nice leaves, of which I did have 3, but seem to have lost one. So here we go. Glue dots are our friends here. So we take the daisies to put together. Like so. I put them inside. And what I've done with this one, I've actually made it thicker because this is probably the one I'm going to use. I've then gone into my stash and found these from the celebrations of last year, and I'm also using rhinestones to decorate. So I'm going to put this little flower with a rhinestone, and then I'm going to pop it in the middle of this one. Now you do this all quietly on the side, so that when you're ready to put things together, you've got everything ready to go. Here we go. So that's that one. So it's good to keep old things from old products. I'm just going to put a rhinestone in the middle here. Might not use this one, but I really like the colours and the coordinations. So what I've got here is I've made these ones too. So they're going to get dimensional in the middle. And the thing is, mix up your colours, because this might look good in one area and this looks good in another area, or you go the other way. And by having several different sorts, you can go ahead and redesign. So again, with the same thing with these, what have we got here? Got a couple of greys left and a green, so let's do a grey one. Yep. So again, you just go with what you think will look good. Oh, I like that. Yep. Okay. I've got a few more bits left, but I think that's enough of those. So then what I've got is the twigs, the glue dot, a couple of glue dots on the back of this one. Because even though I will use glue to put things down, it actually is a bit easier, as you can see, to put things on first and then add some glue later. So that one is done, ready to go. Yep. And I'm going to leave those. Right, so the next step is to bring back your page. Just put those out of the way. Bring back your page. Now, this either works first time or doesn't, but just go for it. Pop your things where you think they will look the best. Okay, so the idea is to play with it. Obviously now, because I've done another one, I'm a bit more aware of what I want to do here. Yes. Okay. Right, so the gluing begins. Okay. Now, what I do is I get a piece of paper or tissue, whatever, and I put some gesso down. Highlight some areas. The thing with gesso is you do need to wash your tool straight away, because it dries hard and it's really hard to get off. And like I say, taking off is a bit harder than putting on, but there we go. Okay, happy with that. Don't get splatters on your photos. There we go. And it doesn't look like much is coming out. What I discovered was, on my last one, was there was more splatters than it looked. Happy with that. take these pieces of paper off before they're wet. Photographs. Put the wipe that so that I think that is done. So I'm going to show you the one I took my inspiration from. This is the one I did in class with the Ray one, and I've highlighted in the bit of yellow in here to bring out the flowers there. The one I did yesterday, which I messed up the recording of, is here. And as you can see, everyone is slightly different. Oh, I've put some wooden elements here too that I haven't done today, so I might go and find those and put them on later. And it looks like I've curled the ends a bit more on that one. And then on one from today, which I'm really pleased with. And the splatters will come out as they dry, they're splattering more. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope I've been able to inspire you to go and do your own mixed media scrapbook page. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.